Record warmth today, much cooler tomorrow. AccuWeather tonight at 11.
Tonight on Action News at 11.
I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan. It felt like spring today with record warmth, but cooler air returns in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast.
Then let the slots spin. The stakes are growing in Philadelphia as Mayor Street reveals his cards. We'll show you where he wants the city's slots to land. Plus, Rocky Balboa, the premiere, the stars, the after party. Action News is live from the red carpet with all the details. And a better potato, a healthier French fry. The latest innovation in food engineering. Tonight on Action News at 11.
I'm Jim Gardner. Sylvester Stallone makes Center City look like Hollywood tonight. It is the premiere of the new Rocky Balboa.
I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan. Record warmth today, but now much cooler weather returns in the AccuWeather forecast.
There is late word that Laura Bush has recently had a cancerous tumor removed. We'll have details at 11.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gary Papa, meteorologist Cecily Tynan, and Jim Gardner.
It is Monday night, and the big story on Action News tonight is Philadelphia once again welcoming back its favorite son. Action News reporter Aaron O'Hearn is live at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, where they're having quite a premiere party tonight. Aaron, quite a night.
Oh, yeah, quite a night, and all the VIPs here tonight. And you know, earlier, Jim, as you said, they showed Rocky Balboa at the Prince Theater. And Sylvester Stallone himself said Hollywood just did not want this movie made. But Stallone kept pushing and fighting, and so everyone's favorite underdog managed to pull a final upset. And a lot of people sad to see him go. And Stallone told me that one of the most thrilling things about tonight was that his 3 young daughters were able to see what their dad used to do. He said right now they just think he plays a lot of golf. Anyway, the movie opens this Wednesday, so good week to see it. Everybody on vacation for the holidays. We're live at the steps of the Art Museum. Aaron O'Hearn, Channel 6 Action News. Jim?
Didn't you used to be Rocky? Thank you, Aaron. We invite you to visit 6abc.com to learn about all the film. There you will find interviews with all the major cast members, links to Rocky and Sylvester Stallone fan sites, even a Rocky message board. It is all right now online at 6abc.com. Meanwhile, Action News was on Main Street tonight in the Manayunk section of Philadelphia. People were out enjoying the last part of a day that saw record high temperatures, but that unseasonably warm weather is changing, in fact, even as we speak. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan is outside with the latest from AccuWeather. Cecily?
And Jim, today you may have been wondering what happened to December. It felt like May, the normal high for this time of the year. Take a look. Certainly nowhere near where we were today. Normal high is 43. Today we hit 70 degrees. That's 27 degrees above normal, shattering the old record for the date of 65 degrees. And we had records across the region. Allentown's old record, 59. Today hit 62, Reading 64, Wilmington a balmy 71, Trenton hit 66, and Atlantic City 71 degrees. You step outside though, we've got some cool gusty winds beginning to develop out of the northwest. Right now, Philadelphia, it's 50 degrees, but you can see up to the north, temperatures are in the 30s, and we're saying goodbye to the unseasonably warm weather. Hello to typical December weather. I'll tell you just how cold it's going to get when I come inside for the AccuWeather 5-day forecast in a few minutes. Jim?
Thank you, Cecily. If the state of Pennsylvania is betting on slots, then this week we'll see a payoff for a number of different communities and developers. Some will start real gambling tomorrow, and others will learn the day after tomorrow that they have grabbed the brass ring. Action News reporter Jessica Borg is live at Philadelphia Park in Bucks County tonight. Jessica?
Jim, the new casino here will open to the public. Right now it's being held in the existing racetrack building behind me, but investors plan on spending $500 million on turning this entire site, we're talking about 430 acres, into a full-service resort. Starting tomorrow, thousands of gamblers will be making this drive into the new Philadelphia Park Casino. Tonight, only gamblers with special invitations were allowed to test out the slots. 2,200 of them will be in place. Residents here in Bensalem expect the casino to generate tax breaks, hundreds of new jobs, and more than $100 million in state money. The city of Philadelphia is expecting similar results with 2 new casinos that'll be announced on Wednesday by the State Gaming Board. Of the 5 casino contenders, Mayor Street has thrown his support behind the Riverwalk Casino. He's endorsing it because of its strong local and minority ownership. Riverwalk also sits on city-owned land at Delaware Avenue and Spring Garden Street. The city would reap millions in rent. For casino critics, that's a conflict of interest. The other 4 casino proposals are Trump Street in the Nicetown East Falls area. It would feature a landmark tower. Foxwoods in South Philadelphia. It would have a 2,000-seat theater. Sugar House in Fishtown would have a pedestrian promenade along the Delaware River. And Pinnacle, also in Fishtown, would feature an ice skating rink. And back here in Bensalem tonight, some neighboring communities say they have real concerns about safety and crime with the arrival of legalized gambling. The public safety director here in Bensalem says they plan on getting a dozen new cops to keep an eye on traffic and any potential problems. That's the latest tonight from Bucks County. I'm Jessica Borg, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you, Jessica. In the Lehigh Valley, they are wondering tonight if it'll be Allentown or Bethlehem. It is likely one of these 2 cities will be able to reach for the brass ring tomorrow. If it's Bethlehem, a casino license will permit the development of the old steel mill and add more than $12 million to the city's coffers every year. In Allentown, the city's chronic budget woes would be solved just like that. We'll know tomorrow which Lehigh Valley city gets the big prize. 1 person was killed and others seriously injured in an accident tonight in Delaware County. Chopper 6 was over the 1000 block of Tinicum Island Road in Tinicum Township. Police say a car and a sport utility vehicle collided just after 5 o'clock tonight. There is still no word what caused the crash. In South Philadelphia tonight, police are investigating a murder outside a bar. This is 3rd and Titan. A 29-year-old man was found shot here at 9:45. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Witnesses say the gunman fled in a Dodge Stratus or Intrepid. This candlelight vigil in Atlantic City was held tonight to remember 4 women who were found murdered last month. The bodies of Barbara Brider, Molly Jean Diltz, Kim Raffo, and Tracy Ann Roberts were discovered in a ditch behind a row of motels in Egg Harbor Township. Their killer remains at large tonight. Lower Merion police hope this surveillance picture will lead to an arrest. The picture was taken at 11:45 this morning as a man in his late 20s held up the National Penn Bank on East Lancaster Avenue in Wynwood, Montgomery County. The man was armed with a handgun. He made off with an undetermined amount of cash. Robert Gates has been sworn in as America's new Secretary of Defense, and at the same time, he said that failure in Iraq would be a calamity that would haunt the United States for years to come. After a private ceremony at the White House, Gates was sworn in with considerably more fanfare at the Pentagon by Vice President Cheney. President Bush was at his side. Former Pentagon Chief Rumsfeld did not attend. Gates said he would soon go to Iraq to get what he called the unvarnished assessment of his military commanders, and Gates assured President Bush that he will get that from the Pentagon as well.
You have asked for my candor and my honest counsel at this critical moment in our nation's history, and you will get both.
Gates added that we simply cannot afford to fail in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Gates' first day on the job was marked by a Pentagon report that shows a sharp increase in the violence in Iraq. From mid-August to mid-November, attacks on U.S. and Iraqi troops plus Iraqi civilians went up 22% from the previous 3 months. The Pentagon says weekly attacks averaged 959 during that period. Iran's tough-talking president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, has suffered something of a political blow. Results continue to come in from Friday's voting for local council races, and many of Ahmadinejad's more moderate opponents have fared well. Analysts see the results as a sign of the public's upset over Ahmadinejad's hardline policies that have angered the West while failing to improve Iran's economy. Newspaper and employees at the Philadelphia Daily News and Inquirer approved their new contract tonight. Members of the Newspaper Guild of Greater Philadelphia voted 498 to 60 in favor of the deal. The union is the largest of 10 of the 2 newspapers and was the last to ratify a contract. The publisher of the paper says there are layoffs on the way, but he has not said how many. Still to come on Action News tonight, the genetically engineered potato that scientists say makes better French fries. Details on Health Check at 11. An emotional day in the search for some missing climbers atop Mount Hood in Oregon.
Well, we hit 70 degrees in Philadelphia today, but you can see there's much colder air up to the north and the west. Bismarck, North Dakota right now is 20 degrees. Some of this is heading in our direction. We'll show you just how cold it'll get in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast.
And we have late word about First Lady Laura Bush's recent treatment for skin cancer. Those stories and much more when Action News continues tonight.
Health Check is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Action News, the team you trust the most, now on 24/7 at 6abc.com. Action News all the time.
The news concerning two missing hikers on Mount Hood in Oregon is grim tonight. Rescuers believe the chances of finding them alive are slim. Brian Hall and Jerry Cook haven't been seen since a week ago Sunday. A sheriff says the two could have been swept to their deaths over a steep cliff by 100-mile-an-hour winds. Yesterday, searchers found the third missing climber dead in a snow cave. He has been identified by the family as Kelly James, who placed a distress call to relatives a little more than a week ago. From the White House tonight, where the First Lady Laura Bush had a cancerous lesion removed from her leg early last month. Mrs. Bush had a squamous cell carcinoma taken off her right shin. That is the second most common form of skin cancer. The First Lady's press secretary says the procedure wasn't disclosed until now because it was considered a private matter. She also says the nickel-sized tumor was caught early and no further treatment is expected. On Health Check at 11 tonight, building a better potato. Scientists at the University of Idaho were trying to make a potato that could be French fried without producing high levels of potentially cancer-causing acrylamides. They did. But in the process, the new version of the potato also has a better French fry aroma. The genetically modified potato makes just a third of the acrylamides of standard potatoes. Well, the crunch is on. The crunch, get it? The crunch is on to send your holiday cards and packages through the mail for Christmas delivery. Today was the busiest mailing day of the year for the post office. 900 million pieces of mail went through the system. That's nearly a third more than any other day of the year. Federal Express says its big day is tomorrow with about 9.8 million packages. UPS says its busiest day will be Wednesday. Now, if you wait to send your packages until the 23rd, postal officials say you'll have to use express mail to guarantee arrival by Christmas. NASA is calling today's unplanned spacewalk a success. During the 5-hour walk, two astronauts from the Space Shuttle Discovery were able to finish folding up a 115-foot stubborn accordion-like solar panel. The task was the only complication in the shuttle's mission. The International Space Station, the destination, the astronauts' return home, has been pushed back to Friday. As far as our weather for the next 5 days, let's go to meteorologist Cecily Tynan. Cecily?
And Jim, it's back to reality after feeling like spring today. Storm Tracker 6 live showing nothing going on. We have dry conditions, a little bit of cloud cover upstairs. And the Action Cam taking a look in the Tioga Nicetown section of Philadelphia at the Durant House, all decorated for the holidays, looking very nice. Right now, officially in Philadelphia, it's partly cloudy, 48 degrees, so really not that cool. Humidity, 56%, barometer 30.23 and rising. Winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour, though, and that is ushering in a cool down, and the ocean temperature 49 degrees. But what a day today. Our normal high for this time of the year is 43, but we hit 70 degrees for Philadelphia. That's 5 degrees above the record high for the date and only 3 degrees shy of the all-time December record high of 73 degrees. So this is unusual. Things are beginning to cool down, though, now that we had a cold front move through. So the Poconos is down to 34 degrees, Allentown 40. The cool air is moving down from the north, so you can see it's cooler up to the north. Reading 41, but Wildwood still pretty mild, 52 degrees, and Dover 50. Dover reached up into the low 70s today, so it was warm across the board. Satellite 6 along with Action Radar showing that we do have this veil of clouds. This is associated with a cold front that's moved through, and you can see up to the north and the west, even cold enough for a little bit of snow. There's another cold front waiting in the wings, so temperatures will be stepping down. Tonight, temperatures dropping down into the 30s. Tomorrow night, probably the low 30s, maybe the 20s in some areas, and the coldest day will be on Wednesday behind this reinforcing cold front, but really not unusually cold for December, just a shock to the system after today's high of 70 degrees. So the Gulf AccuWeather sounding like a movie. December returns. Tonight, partly cloudy, turning colder. Overnight low 34 in the suburbs, about 39 degrees for Center City. And for tomorrow, we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds, a pretty day, brisk and chilly. That isn't right. 65 degrees, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's high will only be 48 degrees. The exclusive AccuWeather 5-day forecast. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Our afternoon high 44, so this will be the coldest day of the week. And then Thursday, it gets milder, 52 degrees. Actually, winter arrives Thursday night. Friday, precipitation moving in, but it'll be too warm for any snow. We're looking at some rain developing, could linger into Saturday morning, then Saturday mostly cloudy with a high of 52 degrees. As we take a look beyond the 5-day, Sunday and Monday, Christmas Eve and Christmas, looks like Christmas Eve should be dry, partly sunny. And Christmas, we're tracking the possibility of a southern storm moving in, but with highs in the mid-40s. It's not going to be snow, the possibility of some rain. So it will be cooling off, but not unusually cold for December.
Not cold enough. Thanks, Cecily. Some talented students showcased their music tonight at the Kimmel Center in Philadelphia.
This AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Pico, an Exelon company, keeping you warm this winter.
What if the Sixers can't make a deal for Allen Iverson?
Then what happens?
That's my question.
Good question. Just keeps going. We might be talking to Billy King tomorrow about that. Heat have pulled out of the AI talk. Message tonight from Pat Riley. Plus, we have a holiday message from Allen Iverson. It's on his website if you care to read it. An open letter to the fans. This is part of it. All I want for Christmas is the opportunity to contend for a world championship. For me, that didn't necessarily mean leaving my home. The city of Philadelphia will always be part of me because I love this city and its people so much. However, I am humble enough to admit that if I am the change that is needed, I'm willing to accept that. Please know, every second of my 29,082 minutes I played in a Sixers uniform were an honor and a privilege I will never forget. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Allen Iverson. Eagles, night after their biggest win of the season or the week before their biggest game of the season, whatever you want to look at. They have that date coming up in Dallas 1 week from tonight. It's a showdown for the NFC East, and tonight it is the Sheldon Brown Radio Show on the air. Todd Herman, special guest, Wired 96. Sheldon knows, got to deal with T.O., of course, as always, but also their new quarterback, Tony Romo with the Cowboys. You don't see it here, but T.O. later on did spit at D'Angelo Hall. He admitted that, and today T.O. was hit with a fine, not a suspension, a fine of $35,000, but he'll be there coming up on Monday. That's T.O. One more time from yesterday, Jeff Garcia is now the man. Did it with his arm, his head, his guts, and also his words. We have all four tonight. Jeff Garcia. Saturday's brawl between the Nuggets and the Knicks. It gets ugly in a hurry, as we'll see from Saturday. Most disturbing part was the sucker punch by the NBA's leading scorer right now, Carmelo Anthony. You'll see it coming up after all this. The fight is over. Then Carmelo says, you know what? No, not over yet. Got some numbers, Anthony, with 15 games, and all 7 players have been suspended for that brawl. Carmelo Anthony will sit out the next 15. Okay?
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, here's what I got.
What is this?
I'm going to sneeze.
No, please.
I'm sorry.
No, not you.
Let's go to video right now. Action News continues at 5 a.m. with Tamala Edwards, Matt O'Donnell, the AccuWeather team of Karen Rogers and David Murphy. Now for Gary Papa, Cecily Tynan, the entire Action News team, I'm Jim Gardner. Good night.